guys. So I'm Brandon. I'm the owner of American Legend Detail. I spent a little over 12 years in the military. Got medically retired due to some injuries. I spent a long time in the car scene, probably a little over 10 years, and that moved me into detailing. And I spent most of my free time before I was married with kids detailing my own cars, through trial and error, this and that. And I decided when I got out, let's start it up. Let's start a detail company. My first year and a half, it was going good. And then I realized that everyone's an auto detailer. Everyone out there knows an auto detailer. Everyone mobile this, mobile that. I go to this guy, you go to that guy. This guy uses the best product. No, he uses the best product. And I realized, okay, I need to do something that separates me from everybody else. And my passion for motorcycles and the fact that I ride and my dad rides. And I figured, you know, why not do that? I've never seen a motorcycle detailer. So I got into that, and I spent the next 3 or 4 years perfecting. So I've been detailing motorcycles only for about 5 years now. Got certified by System X and Ceramic Pro. So I'm a certified installer on real ceramic coating, not the F11 spray on wipe off stuff. So with my ceramic coating, you actually get real ceramic coating. We'll talk about that later, but what I want to do for you guys today is just kind of go over how I wash a bike as far as like a deep detail on your bike, a good wash, a good solid wash. And then afterwards I can open up to questions, talk about products. We'll go into the benefits of ceramic coating versus not doing it, anything like that. So if you guys, please, I don't want to be like up here working and no one's talking. You guys are more than welcome to get up, walk around what I'm doing, ask questions, talk to me. You guys are basically just kind of sit and watch me wash a bike, but I'll do my best to narrate what I'm doing as I go. I know it gets kind of boring watching someone else scrub a bike, but please talk amongst yourselves, ask questions. If you guys have a something that you do, a method that you guys that works for you, please tell me, let me know what it is. I'm always wanting to know more. As a matter of fact, just the other day someone commented on one of my posts on what they do to get bugs off the windshield, and they use a hot towel. They set a hot towel on their windshield for a little bit and let the bugs. I've done that back in the day on my old car maybe once, and I totally forgot about that method completely. Like, that's a great method to use sometimes. So if you guys have anything you guys use or any ideas or good products you recommend, please speak up. Like, we're all just friends here, you know? So I don't want to be like too formal. So
same for the live. If you guys have questions, I'll watch it.
Yeah, same. So what I'm gonna do now is I got Mari here. This is her bike. She's named it Raven. I've already detailed Raven probably about 3 or 4 times. Raven has a full ceramic coating package on it, so it makes maintenance and cleaning a lot easier for me. What I'm gonna do is show you guys how I basically wash the bike. We'll start with getting it up on the dolly. And if you guys want to know more about this dolly, it's a very awesome stand. And it's a little expensive, but it's worth it if it's something that works for you. But basically what I'll do is I'll get this bike up on a jack stand, slide the dolly in it, remove the lift, and now I can spin this bike, move it around wherever I want. It holds 1,500 pounds, so it's a great thing. So I'll go ahead and get started on that. You guys are welcome to watch. Get up, walk around, ask questions, please.
I'll follow. Hey, what's going on, guys? I'll look for questions too. Wow, look how easy that is.
Yeah, so no more having to...
Are you kidding me?
No more having to jack up the stand, right? Find the center. No more, you don't even have to have anyone hold the bike up. I just did it from its kickstand. It rolls right onto it.
Are you kidding me?
It's pretty awesome. And then this just slides in here.
Okay. I was wondering about that part. So
Get there.
Like both. I would imagine they do.
I need one of these.
That's as simple as 1, 2, 3.
Oh my God.
So, question, can
Yes,
you
sir.
use that same jack for changing the oils? Because some of the jacks that are out there, they're all in the damn way.
Yeah,
The question is, can you use the jack for changing oil?
You guys can come up and look and see what you have access to and all that stuff. comfortable to move.
Oh my God.
Just a little heavy.
You're on a hill.
Yeah, it's the hill.
You got it.
Oh, I got it, yeah. Appreciate it.
Are you
It's designed to
kidding
be a
me?
one-man lift.
There she goes. What the heck? All right, the jack's worth it alone.
Yeah, well, wheels lock on it, so.
And what's the name of that jack?
This is a Jack Dolly called Let's Roll.
Jack
You can
Dolly
find
by
them on
Let's
type of
Roll.
Let's Roll motorcycle dolly.
Let's Roll motorcycle dolly,
It
guys.
can hold all the weight with you on it. Not a problem.
Holy cow.
What does that sell for roughly?
It's about 700, but it's worth it if you use it, you know. For me, when I use it on a daily basis in my shop, it's worth it. For some people, it's not, but you know.
It's about $700, guys.
So.
Isn't that crazy? I can't believe it. Let me see if there's comments. Hold on a second. I'm gonna flip
Any
this.
questions so far, other than the jack? All right, cool. So usually how I start a yeah, it's pretty cool.
There's everybody. Say hi to everybody.
A lot of guys use these jacks for storage too. If their bikes are going away from the winter, right, and you know they're going to sit in the garage for the next 6 months, throw it up, get the all the weight off the tires. You know what I mean? And then that way, also during the winter, if you need to move stuff around in your garage, it's a lot easier just to move this around on a dolly if you know you're not going to start it and move it.
Who puts their bike away for the winter?
Well, you live in Minnesota, I guess. You know what I
That's
mean?
true. So.
We're not all as blessed.
Yeah, so generally the way I like to start a bike is water. So I'll go through the whole bike first with light water. Then what I'll do is I'll go through and do the wheels. Then I'll go through and I'll soak and I'll scrub, and then I'll remove the bags and I'll do the same thing. Then I'll go through a foam bath, then I'll go through a clay bar, then I'll go through a dry. So that's what we're gonna do today. I'm gonna try to speed it up as much as possible since we're limited to time. Generally, when I do it, when you guys' bikes come to me for a detail, it's going to go through about a 3 to 4 hour wash just before it even gets into my shop for the full paint correction and prep for ceramic coating. So we're going to speed that up a little bit quicker now. So
That's pretty cool. Hey, if you guys have any questions, I can help ask them for you. I'm catching up now. Isn't that cool? Look at that jack. That like for $700.
when it comes to hoses, I do recommend Flexzilla hoses.
It's jacked right up underneath
if y'all
it.
are in construction or anything, but Flexzilla hoses are the best for everything. Always use a 2-bucket method system. 1 bucket for your soap, 1 bucket just has water in it. That's it, nothing else. If you don't use a 2-bucket method system, if you keep going in to get more soap on your sponge in the same bucket, you're cross-contaminating. All you're doing is picking up all the rocks and stuff you just scrubbed off and smearing it all over your bike, and that's what creates all those scratches and swirls. So you don't want to do that at all.
I got busted doing
Always
that.
run a 2-bucket system. You can get buckets like this, just little like 4 gallon or 3 gallons. Get a dirt trap. You guys familiar with what a dirt trap is? So this right here is a dirt trap. It sits in the bottom of the bucket. So when you go to rinse, all the dirt's gonna fall to the bottom, and this holds it down so you're not picking it back up. So I recommend that. All right, so we'll get started, and please ask questions.
Chains,
If
I'll
guys
show you
might
when
get
he
wet,
takes it
I
off.
apologize if you get wet. I'll try my best.
Chains, I'll show you when he takes it off, how he got it on there.
You want to throw the key fob in here?
Yeah, the key fob's in here somewhere. Hold on.
Everything can get wet regardless of what you believe. A lot of people, you'll see some detailers taping off their speakers and their air cleaners. Harley's designed their bikes to get wet. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. It won't hurt it at all. And how many miles?
How do you feel about doing it with your, I mean, obviously you're cooling it down with your hose,
Yeah.
with your engine hot.
If it's super hot, like if you just came back from a ride, don't do it. Let it cool down for about 20 minutes. But she's been sitting here for about 20 or 30 minutes, so it's still warm. It's not warm enough to actually make it hurt and crack anything. If your water is like 40 degrees coming out of your hose and your bike is sitting at freaking 220, don't do it. You know, but if your bike's been sitting for about 15 to 20 minutes or so, it's cooled down enough to where the water won't affect any cracking or anything like that. So
I thought my key fob was in there.
Oh no. Oh no. Alright, so different people use different wheel cleaners. I'm just gonna go over some of the products I recommend, okay? When it comes to wheel cleaners, I recommend something that has a iron fallout remover. Anyone familiar with what that is? So a lot of wheel cleaners will just be cleaners. This one is from Greyhound's Garage. It's called Heavy Duty Wheel Cleaner, and it has iron fallout in there. So what that's doing, it's helping remove and lift all the brake dust, all the metals, all the oxidation that's on your brakes, on the rotors, on the pads themselves, all the oxidation on the chrome. This helps not only clean the wheel and the brakes, but it helps lift that up. And the way you can tell it's working is you'll see it start foaming, and you'll see the color turn purple. If it's turning purple, you know it's starting to lift up that iron. If there's no purple at all, then your bike's pretty clean. There's not a lot of metals sitting around on your stuff. So
This is where I get embarrassed.
it won't get too
He
bad.
messaged me last night. He goes, "How dirty is the bike?" I said, "She's got about 8 states worth of bugs on her."
She got about what on her?
8 states worth of bugs.
Oh.
So any kind of brush works. The basically, you notice I haven't touched the pressure washer yet. I haven't got out any big soap in. Start with the grimiest spots first. So I always start with your wheels first. Get a good wheel brush, something boar brush or synthetic. Something like this would work perfectly. And you're just gonna get in there as much as you can. And it's just gonna help lift stuff off. You can use it everywhere.
How afraid are you of knocking that thing off your stand?
Not at all. Not when it's on this dolly. Not at all. Not at all. If on my old stand, I used to use a Pittsburgh automotive stand from Harbor Freight. It's my backup. I used it for a long time. It's a $220 jack stand. I would sometimes be a little nervous on that because it does have a little bit of wobble to it. It's a normal thing. It's designed to be like that. I would be a little nervous sometimes if it was a very expensive bike, but I've been doing it for so long that I kind of just trust where I put it. So, but your goal when you're washing your bike, the soapier, the wetter, the better. The entire time. Your goal from start to finish, you want your bike to be as wet and as soapy as possible. And you can kind of see some of this grease down here falling off all that brake dust. If you see all that right there, that's what that iron fallout's doing. It's helping remove all that brake dust out of the way.
Oh, so I did do a good job getting her dirty for you.
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, this one, so the purple will happen when it's removing a lot of metals, a lot of irons and stuff like that. So if you're not seeing a lot of purple, a lot of color change, it's just dirt and grime, you know? So we'll go ahead and rinse that. You guys can use hand or gloves if you want, but the more water and soap, the better, always. And that's not even done, that's just simply we're removing all that garbage off of it.
Is that just a 10 by 10?
Yeah, this is just a 10 by 10.
Chains, what should you be worried about? What do you mean? Tell me.
When you do wash your bikes, I do always recommend washing it in the shade. No matter what you do want to be in the shade if that's where you were going with it. Yeah, so
I
definitely.
just wondered if you had one bigger.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they have them bigger, but when you are washing a bike, you do want to be in the shade as much as possible. You don't want to be in the sun. 4 o'clock in the evening is probably the best time to wash a bike, for sure.
Brandon, Chains wants to know if you should worry about getting the intake wet.
It depends. If you have a really open air cleaner, then it would probably, you don't want to do that. But if you have just a normal filter like this, it's not going to matter. By the time I air blow all of that out, it might have a little bit of moisture in there, but it's going to get wet regardless.
So I'll show you guys this was the tire cleaner he used. If you want to take a screenshot of that.
From there, what I'll do is I'll start at my front wheel, and from here, I'm going to now go around the bike. So now I'm going to do what's called the soft scrub. So I'm going to go through a soap of water and a little hand brush, and I'm going to scrub as much of the gunk out of the engine and stuff like that I can. One of the things I recommend is just get yourself a bottle and Dawn dish soap. I'm telling you, because it's a natural degreaser anyways. If it's safe enough for the ducks in the ocean when they're removing oil, and an oil spill, it's safe enough for your bike.
So that's just Dawn dish detergent
Dawn
with
dish
water?
soap. Yep. That's it. Just gotta find my other brush here.
Is it like a 50-50 mix type of thing?
It really just depends. You can run a 50-50 mix. What I do is I just fill it up about this much with Dawn dish soap, and I just keep putting into it until it's no longer soapy, and then I'll just refill again. So. Got some wet hands, so I want to crack this open for me. Put my gloves on. So like I said, just lots of soap and water as you do this. The soapier, the better.
Ah, I never thought of doing that.
Get the soap up in there. More soap, the better. And all you're doing, yeah, there's some more water. In the heat, like I said, it doesn't matter. As long as you're just keeping it wet, you'll be all right. Any questions so far? Products? Army questions? Yes.
What kind of brush?
Oh, so this is just a normal detail brush. You can buy it on Amazon. This is a synthetic boar hair, so when I'm running on anything metal, you could just use a synthetic. It's very soft. If you're running a brush, like if I were to go up here, I would probably use a natural boar hair brush, and you'll see the difference. All synthetic brushes are black. All naturals are going to be like a tan. So that's how you'll know the difference in the detailing, like the detail world.
So the Dawn is safe even if you have your bike waxed, right?
Oh yeah, correct. It won't hurt anything. Yeah, it's Dawn dish soap is very soft, and you know some companies sell like a soap that does exactly what I'm doing. You know, they'll call it like an ultimate cleaner spray or something. All it is soapy water with a fun smell and a color. That's all it is. So honestly, soap is the best thing you can do. I'm all about saving money too. So
yeah, and it's a lot cheaper.
yeah, definitely.
I gotta get me one of those little brushes.
Yeah, they're nice.
That's called a detail brush?
Yeah, just go to Amazon and type in detail brushes, and you'll see like packs of them, different sizes, and that's just what I recommend.
Now why do you use the synthetic down there and the natural up there?
Because down here you want a little bit of a rougher to help pull it up. This is all metal, so when that stuff gets stuck in there, it's going to be a lot harder pulling it off of metal than it will be pulling it off of a clear coat paint. So you want a little bit of a different brush than what you would use up there.
It's all right. I'm not. I would imagine that coarser brush might.
So if somebody got spray detailer on their engine while it was hot, could they get that off?
Yeah, it won't hurt it. It would just kind of like heat up, and it would just like give a distorted color. But as soon as you get it wet, it would just fall right off. It won't hurt it.
All right, Chains, go faster. You heard the man.
So once you get like a decent scrub off, remember this is all surface scrubbing right now. We're not even like washing the bike yet. We're just helping remove all that surface dirt. You know, prepping it for what we will wash later.
How often do you do this?
Would I recommend?
Yeah.
I would recommend washing your bike. It really just depends on how you ride. If you ride a shit ton, I mean, weekly washes are great. If you're not riding that much, you know, you're riding on the weekends only, you know, I would recommend washing your bike at least once a month, minimum, for sure.
At least once a month, he said.
At least once a month.
It's pouring here. Pouring.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on how it looks. If it's in the garage and it's nice and clean and not full of a lot of dust, but if it's really dusty and dirty just from sitting there, you'll want to wash it.
So what he's using is just Dawn dish detergent mixed with water. This is before he actually washes the bike. He's going in with a detailing brush just to loosen all any like debris. Just get that detail clean. And now that detail brush you can find on Amazon.
Yep.
It's a boar's head, you said, right?
Boar's hair, yeah.
Boar's hair, sorry. Boar's head, that's me.
Yeah. Synthetic or natural will be fine.
So this is before he actually washes it. He goes through it. So Brandon, American Legend Detail, is in Fuquay Varina, North Carolina, which is near Raleigh. Not far from our home dealership, Tobacco Road, Harley Davidson.
I know you guys can't really see what I'm doing over here, but same thing over there. I'm just scrubbing up the casings, getting in between the fins. The fins is a big one. A lot of dirt gets trapped in there. When people wash their bikes, they forget to get all that dirt out of the fins.
I never do that.
Yeah.
He's like, I know. I clean your bike.
Right here in the front, your front casings up here gets a lot of traffic, a lot of dirt, a lot of bugs. So you really want to scrub and loosen all this dirt up with that Dawn dish soap and that brush.
Do you recommend you let it sit on there, Brandon, just to break it up?
It don't matter. Just get it wet, get it soapy, and start scrubbing.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
What about the underneath? People ask.
Same thing. You can reach underneath there and do the exact same thing.
Yeah, especially if you have it on this bike stand. And what was the name of this bike stand?
This is it's called a Let's Go motorcycle dolly from Let's Roll.
Let's Roll motorcycle dolly. It's about $700, and like I could do it myself. I can't believe this. I got to get one of these.
Yeah, they're pretty nice.
When you say
yeah, I will
it's
change.
worth the money,
It is and it's not. So I do this every single 5 times a week. You know what I mean? So for me, it's worth it. If you have a small garage and you're constantly moving your bike in and out to get to crap, definitely worth it. You know what I mean? Or if you have a shop where you have multiple bikes in there all the time and your buddies are coming over, then yeah, it'd probably be worth it to have. So you can move stuff around and, you know, you can work on it, you can build on it, you can wash it, you know. Everything's powder coated, nothing rust. I dry it all off when I'm done, and so I mean it works for me. So it just depends if you want to spend $700.
So Jason,
Right,
my
that's what I'm
shift
saying. You don't wanna
linkage,
be a penny wiser than a
my shift
pound
linkage
fool.
I got from Boss Fab. He's here on TikTok, and my whip
Alright,
that I
that's
have, my get back whip. We took it off just because we're washing the
It's
bike.
a big difference.
It's twisted grip,
had to
and I love that
convince the
thing
person
too.
in charge of my house, aka my wife, to let me buy it. So yeah, it's quite a bit just for a jack. It really is.
Yeah.
But it works for me and how I do it all the time. So looks like you have a question.
Aside from the build brush, you just use the two different kinds of detailing brushes so far, right?
So far, yeah. And then so every once in a while, I didn't bring it today, but every once in a while I do have another brush. It's kind of similar to this, except for there's no rod. It's just this right here, and I would run that on just for my tires and my wheels. But honestly, this works just fine. So what I recommend for your fins, I know a lot of you guys are probably like, oh, the side of my fins look like crap, right? Right there. Go to Walmart, buy yourself a SOS pad, that light one, not the rough one, and you guys can kind of just look at that, feel it, you know. That right there somewhat basically scrapes the metal on your fins, but it helps remove all that dirt on there.
Would it be like triple aught steel wool or something like that?
You can use steel wool, but I wouldn't I would do something a little softer. This is a Scrub Daddy, and they call it like a synthetic steel wool. And it is steel, you can see it, but it's not that thick, grumpy, heavy steel wool. And I like this because it's flat and it's a brick. So there you go. So it lines up on all these real quick because you don't want to get this on anything else. Obviously, you're scraping the crap out of it. So you just want to be gentle. You just want to do it right there on just the edges of your fins as much as you can. You know, just to help give it a little scrub. The pad itself removes everything. You know what I mean? Keep it wet as possible when you're doing it. And only use this on the fins. You won't want to use this anywhere else.
So is that polishing it kind of, or is that
In a way,
cleaning
it's
it?
just helping to scrape and remove all the crap that's stuck on the side here, because, you know, keep in mind any surface you're working with, whether they be metal or the paint, you guys are familiar with like the pores in your skin, right? Every surface on the bike is the exact same thing. If you were to get under a microscope, every surface on this bike has pores in it. It's not perfectly smooth. And that's where all your dirt and grime gets stuck. It gets stuck in those pores and it starts to build up like plaque on teeth, right? And that's where you get that rough feel in the paint, that's where you start seeing grime and dirt, and it just builds up over time. So you got to make sure you get those pores clean, and that's where ceramic coating later comes into play. It fills those pores so it never does that again. So
What about repainted fins? Somebody wants to know.
what do you mean?
Sarah.
Like the whole fins got repainted?
Yeah.
It just depends on if the edges are, if they're milled like that or if they're painted. If they're painted, you don't want to go over it, you know. Some guys like to, but this is what's called machined or mill, where you see a little bit of the metal coming through over the black.
Sweet.
So yeah.
Sarah,
so
does that help,
different.
honey? Cool. What's our next step?
So the next step right now is we're just gonna skip the back wheel for right now, just to save time. But normally, what I would do from this point forward is remove the saddlebags. I put the saddlebags on my table over here.
Oh, they're
and then I do my rear wheel.
mess.
Yeah. So
You guys aren't looking at my saddlebags.
In a little bit, but I want to get through everything else for you guys first, and then I'll finish detailing her fully so she can get on the way. But so my next step would normally saddlebags come off and they go on a table off to the side. And when you go into my shop, all the tins come off the bike. Your windshield comes off, the bags come off, the seat comes off, the center console comes off, the blinkers come off. Everything comes off and goes onto these tables, and I have all these mats right here. So I'm not putting like saddlebags on the floor. I can't tell you how many times I've seen a professional auto detailer say, "Oh yeah, we do bikes," and then I watch them do it, right? Or I see pictures and they're throwing microfibers on the concrete, and then they're putting their bags on the concrete on the microfiber. That's like the worst thing you can do. Just
No
one
good.
mistake, kick it, your bag is done. You know. So I use everything anything comes off the bike, goes up on a table on a soft blanket right there, out of the way until I get to it when I'm done. So the next step from here, after I take the bags off and do the rear wheel exactly how I did the front, would be to foam the bike, and that's what we're going to do next. So it's going to be a little loud for a moment.
And I'm not showing anybody the inside of my bags. They're embarrassing. Like, I haven't cleaned them out yet. So he does have the 2-bucket system, guys. He's going to go over why you need the 2-bucket system too. Does anybody else have any questions so far? I did see the ratio for the tops are
When it
here.
comes to pressure washers, you don't need a gas pressure washer. You don't need something that's 2,300 PSI. When you're looking for pressure washers, and detailing is the main reason for your pressure washer, cleaning your cars, cleaning your bike, your boats or whatever, buy electric, don't buy gas. And as long as you're about 1,800 PSI or less, you're good. The main key thing here is when you're looking for a pressure washer is gallons per minute, GPM. You want as much GPM on your pressure washer as possible. So you should be looking between 1.8 and 2.6. If your pressure washer is pushing that many gallons per minute, that's perfect for detailing. The PSI, it's a false thing. People are like, oh, mine's 2,300 PSI. It's false. You don't need pressure when detailing at all. You don't need it. Your key here is you want water. Water, water, water. You don't need the pressure. So mine, for instance, it's a 2,300 PSI and it's 1.2. And even now that I've had this for about 3 or 4 years now, and now that I've been doing this and I've gained more knowledge, when this goes, I'm not going to go buy this one. I'm going to go buy one that has 2.0 GPM with 1,600 PSI, because you don't need that PSI. So keep that in mind when you guys go look at pressure washers. If your main purpose is washing things, you don't need pressure. So all I'm doing now is using a little bit of pressure to help remove anything that the soft scrubbing didn't do, and to prep it for the foam cannon. Anyone familiar with the foam cannon? Cool. You don't need to do anything more than 40 degrees on your pressure on your nozzle tip. 20 degrees will be too much. You take the risk of really punching through the paint and clear coat, and you don't want to do that. 40 degrees is all you need. And at 40 degrees, you're not going to hurt the paint. You get as close as you want to it. It's not going to hurt it at all. You know what I mean? As you can see, all the water on her bike, see how it's just falling real fast? Because her bike is ceramic coated. Your other bikes won't do that. That water, all this water will catch. See how it's dissipating on itself, already starting to dry? Because there's nothing for the water, there's no pores for the water to sit in anymore. All the ceramic coating is filled up.
So somebody
when
need
you do get ceramic coated, it makes maintenance easier and quicker because there's less water for you to dry, less dirt for you to clean, because it's less pores and stuff for it to get caught on, you know?
So somebody asked about getting the bike washed already because you don't want water spots. My bike has been ceramic coated, so I'm not going to get those. So, I don't know, somebody made a comment earlier, like, wash the bike already so you don't get water spots. Well, I'm not going to, because you'll see the water just runs right off my bike. Brandon, just hit that real quick. All right, cool. The water just separates and runs right off.
Yeah.
That's the benefit of ceramic coating.
Foam cannons. Foam cannons are simple to use. All they're doing is creating pressure inside of a bottle. You're mixing water and soap. There's a little straw in here. When the air pressure goes into here, it's basically creating a cycle and a funnel, which then creates this foaminess to come out. And that's all the foam cannon is. It's no different than soaping it up with your hand and doing it. So you don't need a foam cannon. However, I do recommend it because it's guaranteeing you for you to get soap everywhere. And that's the main goal, is to get soap everywhere. When it comes to soaps, I recommend anything as long as it doesn't have waxes or carnubas in it. Don't buy any of the car washes that have additives and gloss enhancers and carnubas. Don't buy all those car washes. Don't spend the extra money on them. They're pointless. They don't work. So what I use...
Dawn in there?
You can use Dawn. Yeah, you can use Dawn. I've used Dawn before. It won't hurt it. It won't hurt anything, and it acts as a good cleaner. What I do recommend is a good surface prep soap, and there's many different companies that have their own prep soap. So what I use is Griot's Garage Surface Prep. So it's a foam soap, and what it does is it helps to break down any chemical that's on there. You know, I don't know if she's been using detail sprays for the last 2 weeks. I don't know if she put wax on it. I don't know if she's got spilled coffee on the seat while she was riding, or ate some chicken wings, or you know, whatever it is. That soap will help break down those different materials on the bike. So it's good to use a good surface prep soap or a surface cleaner. You don't buy soaps that have gloss enhancers and all that stuff. It's just not necessary. So
That's not true, Alex.
all right, guys. So with the foam cannon, you just know you're guaranteeing you're getting soap in every little crevice and cranny.
Raven's now white. She's a dove.
Yeah.
Check that out. Isn't that cool? Sorry, Alex, I misread that. You're right. Look at her. Check that out,
I
guys.
have one of those. I just did my pamper, and I just did like one
Check
side.
that out. How cool is
How
that?
you mix it matters too. If you put too much soap, it won't work right. If you put too much water, it won't work right. If you have that nozzle, you know, so you really want foam. Let it sit for about 30 seconds to a minute. Let it do its thing. Right now, it's just, you can see it's bubbling. You can see it's already starting to slide because it's ceramic coated, right? Nothing's sticking to it. But what it's doing is it's helping lifting up everything out of there.
The air cleaner is okay.
Yeah, the air cleaner, it won't, as long as you're not putting water in there and the bike's not running, you're not sucking it in, that throttle body is closed. So there's minimal, very minimal water getting in there, if any.
Oh my God. It's kind of a cool paint job.
Yeah, a little bit. So now that so I work from home. I just converted my home garage to a shop, put an air conditioner in, put a little system going I have there, and I just work from home by appointment only. So, yeah. So once you start seeing that black come through, what I like to do is just so I don't get I don't want too much water when I'm scrubbing. My main goal is to scrub right now, so I'll hit it again one more time, just so I can get my sponge wet, basically. Doesn't have to be perfect because you already got a lot on there.
Wow, she looks like she went through a snowstorm.
Yeah. And yeah, now all you're doing is scrubbing. You're just everywhere you can get your damn hand into. Every crack and noonie in the back there. Your goal is to get back up in here. Always use a microfiber. You can use a regular towel, but I like using mittens so I can just stick my hand in there. I can just wedge it in all these places in between the saddlebags down here. Well, the saddlebags would normally be off. So.
This is why Raven doesn't like when I wash her.
But due to time, I can't. I'm going to kind of skip the rear for a second. But normally your saddlebag would be off. You know, you're just getting up in there.
I am not this thorough of a cleaner.
I know.
Because I know.
What other questions I got for you guys?
So, what do you recommend again? Saddlebag, side covers, windshield?
Saddlebag. When a bike comes to me, I have multiple different packages. But when I do a bike, it's most people want my ceramic coating. So when a bike comes to me, after everything comes off because it has to be ceramic coated. So what I take off is I take off the windshield, front reflectors, center console, bags, side covers, seat, mirrors. Sometimes some guys have the front guards. I got to remove those just so I can make everything has to be ceramic coated. So I got to remove as much as possible.
What's your car?
My baggers start at 600, go to 675 if you have a tour pack. And that includes a lifetime warranty with the manufacturer for the coating as well. Full paint correction, full detail. On average, a full bagger takes between 14 and 18 hours. So it's not really a detail. It's more of a... someone told me I was false advertising saying I do detailing. It's more of a restoration, to be honest.
So
getting that bike new.
When I had her done, it's a black bike, so I had all the swirlies, because every time you say don't get another black bike, you buy another black bike. My swirlies are all gone. So he does a full paint correction and then puts the ceramic coat on. So no matter what I do to her, it's not coming back. Yeah, and exactly. But like a couple people in the comments said, get a washer with a water tub. Don't get water. But when you hit the water, it just comes right off. It doesn't. It's better than like regular wax. Oh God, yes. I wish they did it sooner. The paint correction. The paint correction took out all the swirling and everything in the wax. And it was as of 2019, we did 70,000. 70,000.
Wow. Yeah, so I did this bike, when I first did this bike, it was probably about 9 months ago, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
And she has 55,000 miles when it came to me. Now she's about to hit 70. So since I've detailed it, since I ceramic coated it, she's put almost 20,000 miles on it, and it still looks like this. I mean, that ceramic coating speaks for itself, to be honest.
The ceramic coating is, at first you're like, oh my God, that's pricey. But once it was done, I was like, I should have done that too.
How does it hold up for you when you ride? I mean, in terms of like multiple, when you go out, like we went out for like 2 weeks, and I sort of got it rained for a week.
Yeah.
You know, how does it hold up?
Amazing. I just did a big ride. I just rode clear to Key West, and I went over to Louisiana, Mississippi, nothing. And all I had to really do was just get the bugs off her here and there, because the windshield gets all caked on.
Okay.
But it doesn't. Normally, it's like disgusting after 2 days on 95.
Oh, hell yeah, man. I tell you what, yeah.
Yeah.
How long do you recommend new paint? You got a new bike, new paint?
14 to 30 days. Easy, for sure. You need to let that paint cure. It has to breathe for a little bit, get all of that drying. When someone gets a bike repainted, minimum 2 weeks, like minimum. I would probably say closer to a month, I would feel safer doing it. So
You mentioned you take everything off the bike. Is
Yeah.
it a little tricky on the new ones with the water cooling in the lower fairing?
to be honest, I haven't done a new CVO yet with the water cooling and all that stuff. So I really haven't. So no one's brought me that. I've done some quite amazing bikes, but I haven't done that yet.
Okay.
I think the most expensive bike I've ever detailed, he said the price tag when it was all done was about $66,000. So, and it was a custom build, custom paint by Chad Hampton from Hampton Designs. Did his paint on it. It was like a $9,000 paint job or something stupid like that.
Is that just a shop back with a reverse?
No, so this right here, when your bike gets ceramic coated, you can use any leaf blower you want, and it will work, I promise you. Leaf blower is great. When your bike is not ceramic coated, I do recommend finding some type of a stronger blower, because that water, like I said, will get stuck, right? It will be a lot harder. When you're drying your bikes now, probably use a leaf blower, but you're going back through afterwards with a rag, am I right? Most of the time, to get all the mist and all the little runoffs and stuff like that, that's where this guy comes into play. This is a heated air blower, so it's just literally going to heat up all the water. You can see how fast that water jumps off of it. You see what I mean? Because it's ceramic coated. Not hurting anything at all. Nope. I would recommend it all day. Definitely a leaf blower over drying it with a fan.
What about an air compressor with a blowgun?
Plus too much moisture. Air compressors create moisture, so eventually all you're going to do is keep adding water to it, because air compressors create moisture. So it will help get most of the water off, but then eventually you won't be able to completely dry it because you're just going to keep adding more moisture and water to it.
Got you.
If you can see here, it just dries up.
I mean, look at the mirror finish because of the ceramic coating. It's mirror.
touching the bike at all with the rag when I'm done. So it's worth taking a little extra. The more you touch the bike with the rag, the more you're scratching it, no matter how clean it is, no matter what kind of rag you have. blowers. Because after it's on for a while, you want to feel it. It's putting out hot air. So it's not only helping remove the water, but it's helping to evaporate with heat as well. And then they use the bigger ones for this. These guys are from Australia.
I never know which way you're going.
Oh yeah, I'm just going everywhere.
Brandon, do you use leather conditioner on my seat?
Say again?
Leather conditioner on the seat.
Yeah, I'll go over that.
Okay, we're gonna go over that. Yeah, I guess she does. Well, I just broke
You Raleigh area?
a few quick.
Well, close enough.
Yeah, close enough, yeah. So, basically, well, it's still a little wet, but like I said, time right now. So from this point forward, the bike would be dry. I'm now going to move it into my shop, and what's already taken off, great, but now I'll start my disassembly process, right? I'll go ahead and take off my center console, the windshields, the side covers. The bags would already be off at this point. Once my bike gets stripped down, I call field stripping it. So once I field strip it, that's when I'm going to go ahead and start my polishing, my chrome polish, my detailing, my getting in here, making this rubber look good again, polishing up. Like I'll get a buffer. I have different types of buffers. I come buff the casings and the derbies and the all those different things. I'm not going to go over any of that today, obviously, but that's what would happen. So I would take my buffer and I would run through the entire bike doing what's called the cutting process, where I use a certain cutter, and what I'm doing essentially is removing a small thin layer of clear coat off your paint. Very thin layer. Sounds dangerous, but it's not. I'm talking so thin it's like microns, so like about 4 or 5 microns thick of a layer. I'm removing that clear coat. What that's doing is it's removing all the scratches and swirls you see from wiping it all the time. They call it spider webbing. Removes all that, and you will see it everywhere.
That's similar to like a clay bar.
Basically, clay bar is a little different. So I didn't clay bar. I guess I kind of skipped that step. I should have showed you guys. So clay barring is a little different. So clay bar is when the bike is nice and soapy like that. You get yourself a clay bar. Some guys actually use parts of clay. I use this. It's a synthetic clay, so I can pass it around. You guys can feel it. So as that is moving around in a circular motion on your clear coat, what's that doing is to help lift all those little rocks and dirt and stuff that's stuck in those pores. You ever go wipe your car even when it's clean and it feels like sandpaper, right? You hear that rough sound. That's why you have all that stuff is stuck in your clear coat. Even though your car is clean, that's why it feels like that. That's why it sounds like that. That's what that removes.
And so you still use that even after you get the ceramic?
You don't need it, not necessarily, and that's probably why I even skipped it. But no, it's still recommended, yes, because it's not going to hurt the ceramic. And if for some reason, say there's a part of the ceramic that's worn down, right, because it's seen a lot of traction or a lot of this, or if there's a spot that I missed, it's the insulation, then yeah, you'll want a clay bar, and you can clay bar every time you wash. It won't hurt the ceramic at all. So
you won't take the ceramic off over time?
The only way to remove my ceramic coating or an actual professional ceramic coating is through abrasion. And what I mean by abrasion is heavy, fast, and hard. So cutting and polishing is the only way, or sanding is the only way you're going to remove the ceramic coating. Yeah, so it's a permanent protection. Now over time, it will wear down, and it's not based on the ceramic itself wearing down, it's based on how the owner is caring for it. So over time, if you're not washing that much, right, and the ceramic coating gets a rock chip, right, ceramic coating can still take rock chips. It can still, get some damage, But over time, if you're not using the aftercare and taking care of it, that ceramic coating will stop working eventually if you're not taking care of it, and you'll be right back to square one. Except for now that when you go back to get it redone, you're paying twice as much because the guy has to cut twice. He's cutting all the coating off, and then he's going to cut again. You know what I mean? Because it's a lot thicker. So, has anyone familiar with the lead pencil hardness test? So there's a machine where they take a piece of lead and they scrape it along different surfaces, and it records the pressure, and then they convert that into a scale, right? It's how we test the strength and durability of chemicals, of paints, of metals. It's been around for about 40 years, right? In the lead pencil hardness scale, clear coat, automotive clear coat, whether it be Harley, Tesla, Ford, it all rates about the same, between like 5 and 6 on the hardness scale. Ceramic coating rates at 9, sometimes over. So it can take a lot more damage. It ain't gonna stop a rock coming at you at 60 miles an hour on the freeway. No, you're still gonna get a rock chip and a rock ding. But when you're scrubbing with a towel or you're wiping dust off, you're not scratching it anymore because of that ceramic. But if you didn't have that ceramic, that dust is enough to scratch something that's 5 like clear coat, but it's not enough to scratch something that's 9 like the ceramic coat. So therefore, that's why I use the ceramic. Say again? So the best thing you can do if you get rock chips, you can either get them fixed and repainted and then ceramic coat again to protect again. But a lot of people obviously don't like doing that. It costs a lot of money to do that. So what I recommend is whenever someone gets rock chips, like whenever she brings her bikes back in, and I notice, damn, from what I do, I can see like where the ceramic coating's starting to wear down and where it's not, right? When she comes back, when you go to your auto detailer or whoever did it, just have them reapply coating over that rock chip, and then that protects that from corrosion, from peeling, from it getting worse. You know what I mean? It's going to basically seal it off, kind of like a Rust-Oleum.
Yeah, I had a real bad one right here, guys.
You can, if that's what you prefer, but again, you want to let it breathe for a few days at least. Maybe not 7 to 14 days because it's just a touch-up, but at least a couple days before you want to coat over it with a hard coating again. So,
for the trikes and say the front of bags, a lot of people like to put the clear
right here, yeah, the
clear
bras,
plastic on
the bras, yeah.
It sticks good to the ceramic.
No, it don't. It won't. So yeah, ceramic coating is very hydrophobic. So there's molecules in the coating. Basically, it will prevent a lot of things from sticking to it. So whenever a customer got a bike I've already ceramic coated, and they ask me, hey, can I put a sticker on it? I won't tell them yes or no. I'm like, you can try, but don't be mad if it doesn't stick. Don't be mad if you go to wipe it the first time and it peels right off. You know what I mean? Because the ceramic coating is designed for things not to stick. So guys who like to sticker up their bikes and they want to get it coated, I always say, make sure you have all the stickers that you want on there for good. You know you're not going to take them off, and then we'll coat right over them. You know what I mean? And then actually that protects the sticker from getting faded and breaking off as well. So yeah, it will protect the decals as well.
So the ceramic has UV protection then?
Yes, it does. Absolutely has UV protection. And it goes everywhere. It doesn't just go on the tins. It goes on the exhaust pipes, the metal, the rockers, everything. And it holds up to about 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
Is
So
this like
it's,
the old Simonized system with the spray on?
say again?
Is this like the old Simonized system with the spray on?
No, you're thinking of different. So keep in mind when it comes to ceramic coatings, and this is where advertisers will screw you over, and I hate this about this. It really makes me mad. If you go into the store and you see on the shelf at Walmart for $29.99 a bottle that says ceramic coating protection, it is not ceramic coating protection. So what they have done is they've taken liquid ceramic and mixed it with a nano water. So what they do is they do a system called diffusing, right, or infusing, and what they do is they basically kind of like a reverse osmosis. Have you guys heard of that? Same thing, except for there's molecules in the ceramic coating. So once it's pumped onto the paint, right, those molecules start forming, and that's what creates that hydrophobicness. However, it's not permanent protection. So keep that in mind. If it's a $60 bottle or less, it's not real ceramic coating. You're just buying a liquid, hydrophobic, layer of something slickness that will go on there. It's not real protection coating. That's the difference. It will help keep your bike slick, and it might help make maintenance a little easier washing it, and it will provide some protection, say, against water spotting, but that's it. It's not going to protect you from wiping it, from scratching it. You're still going to do all that to it. So that's the difference between ceramic coating and the spray-on stuff. So a little bottle, about 20 milliliters. It's about this big around and it's about this tall. That little bottle would do this whole bike, believe it or not. And that bottle cost me $125 as an installer. And that's the difference in ceramic coating. I'm not putting a $60 product on your bike. I'm putting a $120 product on your bike. And it goes on. Yeah.
So there's a question online
Sure.
here. Can you do denim bikes? Can you ceramic coat denim?
Absolutely, you can do denim bikes. And to answer any other future questions, no, it will not change the look of the denim. So I can show you some videos after. I'll pull out my phone. I should have brought like a little iPad or something, but I have examples of showing you how the coating works on denim paint too. It's highly recommended. So definitely. Is anyone kind of familiar with what it is? We could talk about that next if you want. Ceramic coating. That's cool with you.
One question related to that.
Sure.
For when the bra type material, the leather
Yes.
bras they put on.
The clear
you
bras.
Not the clear ones now, I'm talking the leather ones.
Okay,
like the
yeah.
black leather for the fairing or
Yeah.
for like the trike, the fenders. How does over time you'll get rub marks from that.
Burn marks.
Or burn marks.
Yeah.
Does ceramic hold up to that, or is it going to just rub through that as
No,
well?
because it's burning. It's not. You're not scratching the surface. If you were to take off every seat, every one of your seats, no matter what, you
Yeah.
go remove that seat in the garage. What are you going to see right here? Right here at the
Rubbing.
bottom of the tank, right? You're going to see, oh, it rubs there. Everyone is
got it.
confused thinking that's the seat scratching it. No, it's burning. It's friction. It's the leather seat doing this on the paint as you're sitting on it. You may not see it. You may not, it's not moving, but that leather seat, this right here, the more you sit on it, the more you move it, the more vibration it has. Just the engine running is vibrating this. So over time, it's actually, the friction is burning. So that rub mark that you see right here behind your seats, or that some guys get from their leather chaps, it's not scratching. Keep that in mind. It's burning, and there's nothing you can do to repair that. Me as a detailer, the only way to do it is to sand it and repaint. Because essentially what you're doing is it's melting the clear coat. It's heating that up and it's melting it, and that's what's creating that rub mark. So it's different than scratching. Ceramic coating will not hold up because it's burning. It's not scratching it. It's not. There's no impact coming to it. It's just constant. And we'll do the rest. Abrasion is the only way to remove ceramic coating. So eventually, it will rub right through that. Eventually, the same way as my buffer would remove ceramic coating. Same thing. So ceramic coating is titanium dioxide and sodium dioxide mixed together in a controlled bottling where they remove all the oxygen from it. Once I put that coating onto your bike, oxygen is now hitting it, obviously, and it is going to heat up, and there's a chemical reaction happening. So when I put that coating on this paint, it's already heating, bonding, and sticking. It's like JB Weld. You mix those two things together, it heats up, right? And whatever you stick it to, boom, you just welded that metal together. Same thing, exact same principles. So essentially it's bonding on your paint. It goes through what's called a flash time. That's where the installer is looking at it and going, I use a timer sometimes. I have a stopwatch. About 15 seconds, sometimes 30, depending on the temperature outside, depending on the humidity in my shop. You know, if it's cold, it's a lot slower flash time. If it's really hot, it's super fast flash time. Hence why I run an air conditioner during the summer in my garage, because it's not enough flash time for me, you know. Once that flash time is over and I see it starting to dry out, that's when I go ahead and I level it, then I polish it up and I remove it. What I've just done is I filled in all those pores or over all the surface I just did, right? Now I go back through and I do another layer and I do the same thing. So now I've layered. So all the damages from wiping, scratching, pollen, all the dust and dirt on there, it's all happening to the coating and not the actual clear coat of your bike. It's very similar to a screen protector on your phone, right? All the crap's gonna hurt the screen protector, but then you peel it off and you're fresh again. Same thing. So that's the difference in ceramic coating. If your ceramic installer one is not certified by a legit company, not a local company, not a lot of guys who are like, oh well, we use Adams graphite ceramic. Decent ceramic coating, you know, it's similar to what a professional, and it's somewhat permanent, but they say, oh, it's only a 3-year coating, right? If they're not offering something like that as some type of a certification, I want to take your $40,000-$50,000 bike to them, and just, you know, it's a little different for me. I've seen some guys do ceramic coatings on a bike, and then the customer will call me and bring me the bike. They're like, I just got it ceramic coated a year ago. And then I go to wash it, I'm like, this was never ceramic coated at all. The guy, he probably charged you for a ceramic coating, and he probably used a spray-on wipe-off ceramic coating. It's not real ceramic coating. And I can tell you it wasn't ceramic coating. I can't even, like, I don't have enough hands in this room to tell me how many times that has happened to me with customers saying their bike has already been done, you know. So you just really want to pay attention to what you look for when it comes to your auto detailer, for your bike, and when it comes to what ceramic coatings you're using on your bike. So don't fall for, what do you call it? Don't fall for the hustler out there trying to just make $600-700 on your bike. You know, I know guys that are certified by System X that I work with that are in other parts of the U.S., even guys in Australia that charge, you know, between $1,500 and $1,200 a bike. I won't do that. My prices are fair. We all know the economy sucks. You know, so I won't do that. My prices will stay the same no matter what, and I'm not going to rip anybody, but the difference between me and everyone else is you're going to get a certified installation on a certified product, and you're going to get a manufacturer lifetime warranty, and that's the biggest thing.
So Brandon, for ceramic coating, paint correction, and a full detail, roughly for like a bagger, like a street glide or a road glide?
$600, $675 without the tour pack. And the only reason why it's more with the tour pack is material. I need to open a whole nother bottle in order to make sure I have enough to do that.
And those little bottles are $100 each.
They're expensive, yeah.
And so, and that's about 20 hours worth of labor, right?
The longest,
18?
yeah. Most bikes, if a person brings me a bike that's relatively only about maybe 3 or 4 years old, it takes me about 14 to 16 hours. The older bikes sometimes longer, and colored bikes could be possibly even longer. Believe it or not, black is the easiest bike to do. I prefer black all day long, and a lot of people think that.
What if you got less than 5,000 miles on your 23 road glide?
It don't matter. You guys can take. Don't tell Tobacco Road. No, I'm just
Red.
kidding. You can take this light inside right now and go shine it on a bike that has 0 miles on it. 0, and I promise you, you're going to see scratches and swirls all over the paint. Simply because, you know, people sit on them at the dealerships. The guys are wiping them down and keeping them clean every day, and they're not protected yet. That's okay. If a bike has 5,000 miles or less, it makes my job doing the paint corrections easier. Those swirls and scratches are easier to remove than a guy bringing me a bike that's got 70,000 per. So when she first brought me her bike, I can show you guys can go on my social media. There's quite a bit of scratches and swirls. Her bike took me about 18 and a half hours. So the longest bike I've ever done took me 26 hours. It was a 2004 Electric Glide Limited Ultra with the tour pack with the lowers. And it was a 2004, and it sat in a barn for 6 years and never even started. The guy brought it to me on a trailer, and it had like an inch of dust on it. It took me about 26 hours. So, yeah.
So, if they have the lifetime warranty on the coating,
Yes.
and you get those rock chips or something,
Yes.
does that mean that that will be repaired, or do you still
Not
pay
rock
for the
chips.
touch-ups and
Not
things like
rock
that?
chips. Yeah.
Okay.
So what the warranty will cover is this. Say for instance that I ceramic coated her bike, right? And she goes on a ride, and someone comes up here, and they're sitting on her bike like this, and they have rough jeans on, right?
And I kill them.
And she comes one day, and she's like, "What the fuck?" Now it will be covered through the manufacturer warranty. She'll call to me. She'll say, "Hey, I did nothing wrong. I've been taking care of it." And as the installer, I'll inspect. Hey, the coating looks good everywhere else, so I know she is taking care of it. Because if she lied, the coating would be garbage up here, right?
Or he busts me on a live
Exactly.
washing my bike without the 2 buckets.
Yeah, exactly. So then the manufacturer warranty will cover. They'll give me the bottle as the installer. I don't have to pay for it. I'm now going to go ahead and remove that old coating, redo it completely free of charge. So that's the difference. But you have to, the installer has to double check to make sure like they're not just lying, like haven't been taken care of. And I've had a couple guys try like, "Hey, my bike's all scratched up right here," and he tries to show me this one area, but I look at all over his bike. I'm like, "Dude, when's the last time you washed this?" "Oh, 6 months ago." Then you're not taking care of it. You gotta be able to take care of it, and obviously can't show proof, but the installer should know whether or not the bike's been taken care of or not. You know, they've been doing this for so long, you know. So it really just depends.
This company that you're connected with is around the country?
Global, yeah.
Okay.
So when it comes to ceramic coatings, there's probably 100+ different brands out there. Especially like Chemical Guys, Griot's Garage, Majestic Solutions right here locally. I'm sure you all heard of. Everyone has their own version of ceramic coating. I'm not going to talk crap on any other company because I use what works. I use Chemical Guys, I use Griot's, I use Pig Spit sometimes, I use S100. But when it comes to ceramic coating, I will only use 2 companies currently until I find something else that beats them. And the 2 I'll use is, number 1, I would choose Ceramic Pro or System X. I would choose System X over anyone else, and I'll get to that in a second. But Ceramic Pro, they were around first. So you guys familiar with how ceramic coating came about? It started in NASA and the aviation industry. They wanted a coating so these airplanes and rockets stopped getting all the moisture and water spots on their windshields and stuff, right? That's initially where it came from. So it actually started in the aviation industry about 15 years ago. Ceramic Pro was the first. They're global. They're everywhere. They're in Dubai, every country. There's probably 10,000 plus installers. They got actual franchise installation shops everywhere. They call them auto spas. They were the first, and they have a great product. My downfall of Ceramic Pro is they have a bad customer service, bad marketing, and their warranties don't hold up compared to others. So now we move into System X. Enter System X. System X came around about 10 years ago, and I got on with them because same thing, Ceramic Pro, they just weren't treating me as an installer very well, you know, and I'm just like, I gotta find something. Someone turned me on to System X. So they sent me a bottle to try for free, and I tried it on my own truck, and I gave it 6 months, and I didn't wash it, I didn't do nothing. I destroyed the crap out of my old F-150 just to test it, because I wasn't sure, you know. I want to make sure whatever product I'm putting on someone's customer is going to work. So System X all day, by far. Dude, outperformed, outdid everything. They treated me better, and the biggest difference is lifetime warranty. You get a lifetime warranty. That's the biggest thing.
If someone comes to you and they've got a ceramic coating, but it was with another company,
I won't put it on.
well, how do you know? I mean,
yeah.
if it's a warranty type thing.
So it depends. So like, I can't warranty anyone else's work. I can only warranty what I do. So,
Okay.
But I got a registration code.
yeah. So when you get your bike ceramic coated by me, you're gonna get a registration code.
Right.
It gets be registered to you. Gets registered to me under me as
To
an
the
installer,
bike.
and then actually that goes up to Carfax. So anything I ceramic coat actually goes to Carfax, and it stays with the vehicle.
So if I get in an accident with my bike, my insurance
will pay to have the bike re-ceramic
Ceramic
coated.
coated.
Correct.
Okay.
Cool.
Yes.
So it's honored by
Knock on
all people that use that product.
I've probably so far I've done about maybe 16 or 17 insurance claims with people. I've given them an invoice to let them know I've coated their stuff, and all of them have got paid for it so far. Not very many came back because a lot of people like just to pocket their money, you know what I mean? But yes, you will get paid. The insurance will pay for it to get re-ceramic coated.
No, I'm saying, like, say somebody was in Baltimore and had the ceramic coating done.
Yeah.
Same company like you're using.
You can go to any.
But
Yes.
but go to anybody and
Correct.
you'll honor
You can
the
go to
warranties.
any. You can go to any System X installer.
System X,
So if
okay.
I install your ceramic coating and you move to Florida, right, and there's an issue with your coating, you find the certified installer down there,
Yeah.
and he can handle the warranty. Correct.
Good.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. So Ceramic Pro is good. They hold the contract. Ceramic Pro does all the coating for the U.S. Navy. They do everything for the Navy. System X holds the contract with Boeing. Every Boeing plane you fly on, it's probably been ceramic coated with System X. So I mean, that's generally how big these companies are. So, yeah. Any other questions? And I can go over chemicals and stuff. If y'all have questions, yeah. Yeah.
What do you use? I have a heritage.
Okay.
What do you use on the final
Yeah.
leather or whatever?
So,
Stains in the bag.
yeah, so leather, did I bring it? Yeah, so, leather's weird. Leather's weird. You can use vinyl or leather. It's basically the same thing. They both act like skin, and it has to get you have to moisturize your skin, or otherwise it will harden and crack. Same thing as leather, same as plastic. So what I do recommend out of everything I have tried is this one. It's called Chemical Guys Quick Leather. And the reason I recommend this is because most of your bikes are not 15 years old or 20 years old. So you don't need a deep conditioner all the time, you know what I mean? Some bikes will come to me and the bikes are 10 years old, and yeah, I'll clean the leather seat, I'll scrub it down with this, and then I'll condition it, where I'll get a thicker conditioner or leather, and I'll actually massage the seat. I actually spend 10 minutes just rubbing and massaging the leather. Some bikes need that, but for most of your bikes that are about 5 to 7 years old, you don't need that. So this is what I recommend. This cleans it, protects it, moisturizes it all at the same time.
What about
So-
stuff, like when she gets off and stuffs the bag.
Yeah.
Scuff the leather bag?
The leather bag?
Leather.
Yeah. It will help slide her across to where you're not causing as much damage, because it adds a little bit of that moisture in there. So yeah, it kind of it acts as a lube to her boot a little bit, yes. So it'll help a little bit. But again, getting scratches out of plastic vinyl is pretty rough, you know what I mean? So, but this will help, and this creates a shine. And one of the biggest reasons I use this over anyone else is, one, this one has vitamin E and aloe. So leather is it's real skin off an animal, right? So it has vitamin E and aloe, but the biggest thing is it has UV protectant. When your bike's sitting out there, you're having a drink at the bar and it's sitting in 90-degree sun, you know what I mean, just baking your seat, this will help not fade that leather as quick. So you'll want to get a good leather cleaner that has a UV protectant. So this is Chemical Guys Quick Leather Detailing. So that's what I would use. And I'll give you guys a card too when everyone leaves here. On my website, I run a link tree where I got different links to different stuff. You'll see all the products I recommend, and they're all on Amazon. You can get all of them on Amazon.
So there you go, Chains.
buckets
If
and
you
your
go
water.
to
Everything.
Brandon's
Everything you can get
Facebook
on
page,
Amazon.
American
The only
Legend
thing you
Detail,
cannot get on Amazon
his
that
link
I
tree has
use
everything.
Is this coating itself. You know?
Do you have the jack on there?
Yeah, you know what? I don't know if I have the jack
You should
on
add
there,
the
but
jack.
I should put it on there. Yeah,
Everybody
definitely.
loved that.
Different chemicals are good for different things. When it comes to cutting and polishing, I use Sonax from Germany. I'm just brought some of my chemicals to explain to you guys. If you decide to do your own polishing and cutting and buffing or whatever, there's a lot of different compounds you can use. Stay away from McGuire, stay away from turtle wax and all that stuff. Spend a little bit of money. You don't have to go this big, but I use Sonax from Germany. The Germans have really figured out how to do some decent auto care. When it comes to their products, they work really well. Yeah, you guys can pass these around.
What is it? What is this stuff?
So this is
this wax.
Kinda, not really. So these are the chemicals.
Because I'm looking at
Yeah.
that bike and I'm not seeing what the, why do I have to spin my wheels again to do that? You know.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I never have to wax her.
No.
I'll never have to
You
do.
just wash
Once
it,
you
right?
ceramic
Yeah.
coat, you never wax again. This
You
is
never wax
simply
again.
like if you wanted to do your own polishing and waxing.
Okay.
You would use these. I would recommend these for sure. But honestly, if you're gonna spend money on your bike and you go get it done right, get it done professionally. You know.
Safe trip, Chains. Thanks for tuning in.
Bugs. I know a lot of guys are interested about bugs, different methods. When it comes to bugs, we'll go ahead and talk if you're ceramic coated first. If your windshield in the front of your bike's been ceramic coated, like hers here, she just came back for what, 3 different states?
9.
Right? 9 states. You can come look after I've washed it. There's relatively no bugs on here, and that's simply because the acid in the bug stomachs and stuff won't stick to that coating. It's too hydrophobic and it won't eat through it. So a lot of bugs, if you're ceramic coated, leave them on there. Leave them on there in the day for 48 hours in the sun. Let them bake, and you literally take a rag and they'll probably flake right off.
I take like a hotel towel
and then you wash your bike, the rest will fall. Now, if you're not ceramic coated, or say you got those stragglers, or just motherfucker won't come off, right? Sorry, I cuss a lot, metric. This is your best friend. Get yourself a bottle full of distilled water and isopropyl alcohol from the store. Regular rubbing alcohol, 70% alcohol. Mix it up. This right here evaporates. It won't hurt the ceramic coating. It won't hurt your clear coat, and it helps lift all those bugs and stuff off of there. So this is a good, like, oh, if I got a hard water spot or a hard bug you just can't get off, this works great.
You got a 50% solution now?
You can go 50-50, 70-30. It just depends on how rough that is. So I recommend to do a 70-30 at first, and if that's still not strong enough to pull some of your crap off, then move it up to a 50-50. I have a bottle that runs all solid 100% alcohol sometimes too.
And you can use that if I haven't had it ceramic coated yet. I could use that.
It won't hurt it at all. And I'll even
Water and isopropanol, is that what you said?
Water and isopropyl alcohol. Yeah. Don't buy the 90% alcohol. Buy the 70%. 90 is just a little too strong.
Isn't
So-
rubbing alcohol already 70%?
Say again?
You're rubbing alcohol already 70%?
Yeah, exactly.
But you already do it 70% again?
Yeah, I didn't bring a bottle of it, but just go to the store, go to Walmart, you'll see alcohol in the first aid section. You'll see one that says 93, and then you'll see one that says 70. Buy the 70, mix it in this at 50-50 or 70-30, but use distilled water. That's the key. Because if you use bottled water or hose water or sink water, there's minerals in there, there's metals in there, right? You're adding more iron to that. You don't want that, especially when you're removing something. And you can see, like, it won't hurt anything. And it literally just evaporates whatever's left behind. It will literally just evaporate on its own. So it's the ultimate cleaner, and it works really well on chrome. Believe it or not, it works really well on chrome. Cool. Anything else? Yeah.
So I'm assuming every time you maintenance a coated bike,
Yeah.
you wash it over the course of years.
Yeah.
I mean, you're eventually going to remove layers of that coating.
Eventually, yes, exactly. So the way the lifetime warranty works is this. How many own a Harley that is older than 7 years? Very few of you, right? How many own a vehicle that's older than 7 years? Very, very few though. The majority of people don't keep a vehicle past 7 years. So the way the warranty works is 7+ years is considered a lifetime warranty. So if you're washing your bike every single week for 7 years, that coating ain't gonna last. But if you're washing your bike once a month for 7 years and you're taking care of it and you're using what it's supposed, that coating will last. Because the only way to remove coating is through abrasion. The more you wipe it, the more you wash it, over time it will wear. But that warranty is a 7+ lifetime warranty. So as long as you're at least taking care of it, it will last longer than 7 years, for sure. My truck out there, I ceramic coated about 2 years ago, and I wash it once a month. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Ceramic coating does make a difference. Any other BMW does.
It's a big difference, and it's expensive. I get it, but like the days of wax on, wax off are gone. The ceramic coating is 100% replaced wax. Wax is dead. It doesn't exist anymore. It's an old school method, and it worked, but ceramic coating is the future and the way you want to go. And what I'm doing now is, and I guess I'll tell y'all since we're live. Screw it. So I'm actually working with a business partner right now and System X, their president and their chemist. We're actually testing coatings at NASA and the San Francisco Research Center. And I'm actually looking to creating a whole new company where I still do this because this is my passion, but I'm actually going to move ceramic coating into your residential houses here pretty soon. Your granite countertops, your shower doors, your fixtures, all that. It is amazing the different applications you can use ceramic coating for. I've ceramic coated my AR rifles. I've ceramic coated my Les Paul guitar. I mean, like it's amazing the different applications you can use for it. Barbecues, stainless barbecue grills. highly recommend it. If you go buy yourself a $2,000 grill, get it coated before. It will last so much longer. You won't get that rust, you know. So there's unbelievable how many applications it's actually good for. But again, it started in aviation, it's now shifted into automotive, and it's now slowly shifting into other things as well. It's amazing. So we're just now at the very beginning of like what this coating can actually do.
Do you put it on windshields?
Absolutely, yeah, everywhere. The exhaust pipe, the windshields, the fins. So the way I apply on tins and windshield surface is by hand. It's a wipe on, wipe off method, like I was explaining earlier with flash time and dry time and cure time. The way I apply to the engine and everything else like that is I use a little mini detailer, like a little paint, and I use my compressor and I spray it on. And then I level it after that, just because it's kind of hard to wipe up in there and stuff. But that makes sure I get that ceramic coating everywhere, all over the bike.
And you do the pipes too?
Everything, yeah. 2,000 degrees is what they will hold up to. So eventually, because
so if I'm getting headers,
yeah,
I wait till I get the headers installed.
I always tell guys, if you got a lot of stuff you're doing to your bike, get it all done first, and you get it all ceramic coated. However, now that being said, right, I've had a lot of customers get their bike done with me, and then like 2 weeks later, like, I got a new windshield, man. Like, I wish I had that windshield. Just bring it in, call me. If I'm home, bring it in, bring it by. We'll coat it for you. No worries. Don't pay me. Bring me a tip or some beer. Call it a day. You know what I mean? I ain't worried about that. You know what I mean? My ultimate goal is to get as many bikes out there coated as possible. Because the more guys are out there that are coated bikes that are spreading the word of how amazing this stuff is,
I love it.
The more these dealerships will get in on it, and you guys can stop buying these brand new $50,000 bikes that are all scratched up already, you know, or these used bikes that haven't, you know. One of the biggest things I do is whenever someone buys a used bike, I usually get a brand new bike, but it's used to them, you know. That's usually what I get most. They buy a brand new bike or a used one. Comes into me, and my goal is to make it look brand new again.
I wish I had known about it sooner and had it done in the beginning.
Well, I mean, and that's the thing is, I just moved American Legend Detail here just about a year ago. Before that, I was working in the Washington State because that's where I was stationed last. I don't like Washington State. I want to clarify that. But I was up and running there for about 4 years, and I've done everyone's bike out there. I've done Banditos, I've done CBMA, CBMI, I've done Knights, I've done a Buffalo Soldier, I've done clubs, I've done non-clubs. I mean, I've ceramic coated almost every toy you could think of. I've done jet skis, I've done a boat, I've done a motorhome, bikes, Can-Am Spiders, a slingshot.
ARs?
Huh?
ARs?
The AR, yeah, I did my own ARs actually, yeah. So, yeah, it's amazing product. It really is.
Do you do it for this dealership?
Say again?
Do you do it for this dealership?
No. So the reason why dealerships haven't got in on finding a detailer installer to do all their stuff, and I learned this as I was trying to find dealers in Washington to partner with, is that most Harley dealerships have to sell Harley coating. Because what happens is most dealerships, not all the same for all of them. I don't know how, you know, this one works or that one works. But what I've learned so far is most dealerships won't contract with someone like me doing this coating with another third companies, because if they sell their coating, then they get more in their budget from Harley. You see what I mean? The more aftermarket things they sell.
Kind of like the lights for custom
realistically how it is. So every dealership uses their own version of coating. Some dealerships don't offer it at all. I don't know if this one does offer its own ceramic coating or not. If not, I hope they do reach out to me and we get them hooked up, you know.
So is that coating a good anti-fog as well for like the inside of the
Yeah,
windshield?
definitely. I have customers when they come in, they bring their helmets too. Absolutely. If you have a new helmet when you come in, heck yeah. And it keeps that rain right off of it. And there's a different coating for everything too. You know, like if I did my truck, I did my interior too. I have a cloth interior. You can go pour a bottle of water on my seat and it will just puddle up and fall off. You know what I mean? So there's coatings for inside, there's coatings for glass, there's coatings for plastic, there's coatings. What I use on all my motorcycles is System X Max. It's their best coating. It goes on everything. It can bond to almost any surface. It's the one with the lifetime warranty, so I stick with their Max. But they do have other coatings for other things. Yeah.
It's pretty expensive. I had, we had hers done $2,500.
And yeah,
Inside and out.
that's a killer deal if you got inside and out. That's a great deal. Yeah, it's expensive on a vehicle. On a bikes, I keep my prices. I like I said, I've seen some installers
Chris,
charge
it's
between
System
800
X.
and 1,200 a motorcycle, and I just think that's ridiculous, to be honest. I ride myself, and I wouldn't pay that much, even though I love the product. That's just not fair to the Harley owner, you know, and it's not fair to the economy's crap. I'm just not going to do that. I think it's fair at the average price, which is about $600 to $700 is what I charge for the bikes. Now, cars are different. If when you go get your vehicle done, for instance, if I were to do another F-150, I'd be charging out $3,500 front, inside, and out. Yeah, $3,500
For ceramic coating.
For ceramic coating, because you got to keep in mind that you're not just paying for the guy to put coating on the car. You're paying for the installer to wash it. You're paying for the installer to tape everything off if he needs to tape stuff off. You're paying for him to do the full paint correction, which takes hours depending on the size of the vehicle, right? You're paying for the installation of the coating. You know, so there's a lot more than just, oh, ceramic coating is so expensive just for a little bottle. It's more to it than that. You know what I mean? So you're getting a lot more, and you're getting that paint refreshed on your vehicle.
So much better to wash, easier to wash.
It makes maintenance a lot quicker and faster. It makes drying quicker and faster. It makes it's just so much easier.
I wash it. It's like,
Yeah.
I like that water just
Have
comes
any other
right
questions?
off it.
Towels?
I ride through the
Yeah.
rain.
What do you recommend for?
I don't have water spots.
For say what?
Boot marks.
Yeah. On your pipes.
I got
So-
frog togs melted.
Yeah, so it depends on the pipe. If the pipe is like this is just powder coated. It is a metal with the light powder coat finish, right? You treat that the same as you would paint. You just buff it up, you know, with the buffer and this and that. But ceramic coating, again, will help maintain not stuff to get stuck to it. Now, if you are your pipes chrome? Chrome? Okay, so mother's polish, dude. That's the best thing you can do. Go get some mother's polish, mag polish, aluminum polish, what they call it. Put it on there. Get it. Either you can do it by hand, or what I use is a Ryobi, kind of like my drill, except it's a polisher. I put a little 2-inch pad on there, and I use that on my chrome. And just make sure you're not burning. You know what I mean? Just make sure you're just keeping it, and you will get everything off that pipe for sure. Yeah. So
But you don't need to worry about that if you get a ceramic.
if you get ceramic coated, you won't need to worry about it. Now, keep in mind, you can still maybe burn some stuff on your pipe after it's been ceramic coated, but it makes getting it off so much quicker and easier. You know what I mean? We ceramic coated her bike. She melted some frog togs, which is basically almost a plastic on her pipe.
Okay.
I was able to get it off in about 35 seconds with a little bit of polish and WD-40 I mixed together. You know?
Yeah, he got it right off.
Big radio.
Yeah, it's you know,
And
it
everybody's
works.
like, oh, that on that
You know,
Bottles for a bottle.
yeah.
And it comes with its own little plastic radio.
Yeah, chrome polish, yeah, it helps. Something like that would be fine.
A few minutes and it's straight off like you were pulling it in.
Yeah, something like that would be fine. The biggest thing with chrome, you got to understand is, one, learn how chrome was created, right? It was dipped in a metal and then it was electrified, which created that polish, and that's how it stuck, so it will flake. So keep in mind, whatever chemical or whatever type of machine you're using on chrome, treat it the same, but actually a little even more fragile than paint, because you can make it flake if you heat it up too much. Yeah.
That's a 14.
Yeah, so towels. Yeah, so towels are measured off of
sports-
grams
is that the
per
sport?
square inch, I think they call it. Right, something like that. GSM or something like that. Grams per square metric meter, right, or something like that. So that's basically the weight of the towel. So if you guys look in your bag, go ahead and reach in your bag. You'll see a towel.
Then you can do 16.
Pull that towel out.
16 then. Because the 14 goes right over me.
So that towel is by a company called Rag Company, and that's what I use on my towel. That's what I use on all my bikes. When it comes to the paint of your bike, you should be using a towel that is that thick and heavy and soft and nothing else. So I'm sure all you guys are familiar with these, right?
Yeah,
The Costco
yeah.
towels, don't use these on your paint. Just don't. Like, unless you're cleaning and degreasing, don't use them on your paint. This is about 220 weight. So you can pass around and then compare that to the one you have in your bag. See the difference.
I got a pile of those.
Now this is 1,000. Pass that around. The difference.
I know. I want to curl up
Well,
with that one.
I've got one in my little cubby for when I go to the when I go to the gas station and I get a little
Yeah.
spill up.
Yeah, exactly, and that's fine. Use the softer the rag, the better, no matter what. I use different rags for everything. This is what I use to remove ceramic coating. It's 100. It's no, this one's 200. So like this is it's rough, but it's soft, and that's because I have to remove that thick coating once I'm leveling it. You know what I mean? So I use different towels for different things. But when it comes to your bike, we're just spraying, detail spray, drying it, whatever you're doing to it, you want to use that towel I gave you or something similar to it. And that's why I gave you all one.
So the lawyer that gives us all his towels, we should just use those for wiping grease off our hands.
The only time I use a towel like this is for when I'm polishing chrome because I'm getting all that nasty crap off of it, right? When I'm removing dust and dirt and things like that, I will use a Costco towel.
Or changing
That's
the
it. I
oil.
will not use, if there's bugs on here and stuff like that, I might use it with alcohol to get the bugs off, but I'm not going over my entire bike with this towel. Even though it's soft, even though it's clean, there's nothing wrong with it.
Wow.
But you want the heavy weight. And the reason being is because you want everything that you're about to wipe off to get up in this towel. You know, microfibers are static, so everything that you're pulling, it's kind of lifting it up into there. And that's why you want a thick, heavy towel. Like I would only use this on a Ferrari. That's why I only have like 3 of them. They're like $20 a towel. Stupid expensive.
And that's on your and those are on your website too, or
Yeah. So the towel I recommend for Harleys is the one you have in your bag. It's called the Eagle 500. It's the perfect weight to me. It could be used for cleaning. It could be used for removing compounds, polishes, dust, dirt, grime. It could be used for just spraying a quick detail spray and wiping it down because it's a little dusty. I would recommend that towel, and that's on my website too, but that's why I gave you all one today. So.
What about cleaning the towel afterwards?
yeah.
So, yeah. So,
Throw it
yes.
in the washing machine or?
Absolutely. All my towels I reuse except for my Costco ones. And my Costco towels get dirty or nasty, I throw them away. No point. They're cheap. 17 bucks for a pack of 36. That's it. You know, I toss them. Everything else, wash your hot water and your own normal washer at home. Normal laundry soap, but add in about 2 cups of white vinegar. Helps remove everything, all the chemicals off of the towel. So you can reuse those towels for a year, depending on as long as you're washing them all the time. You know what I mean? So.
If you don't have coating and you do need to use some kind of wax, do you have recommendations?
So okay. So what are you looking for? Are you looking for a protection or looking for more hydrophobic to keep the bike clean and shiny all the time, right?
I guess clean and shiny is my first inclination, but
Okay.
it sounds like that's not
So
No, go with it.
So don't buy waxes. Just don't waste your money. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your energy. If you can't afford the ceramic coating, I get it. It's expensive, and if you can't afford it, there is one recommendation I recommend at least using until you can afford to get the ceramic coating done. And it's the one product System X will sell to the public. And there's different versions of this. We were just talking earlier about the ceramic coatings. You go to the store and they're 30 bucks a bottle or whatever. Something like that is what I would recommend. And out of all of them that I've tried F11, I've tried Armor Royal Purple, right? I've tried Chemical Guys' ceramic coating. I've tried Griots. I've tried Adams. I would recommend System X, not because I work with them and trying to sell them up, but they create a product called System X Renew. It's the only product they'll sell to the public, and it's on Amazon too. It's 60 bucks for a bottle. But what it is it's the actual spray-on, wipe-off, do-it-yourself coating, but it's a 9-month protection, so it will keep about 9 months of protection on there. It won't protect against like the wiping and stuff like I told you, but it will help keep your bike hydrophobic. Now, if you get your bike ceramic coated by me, you'll still want to buy it because it's an aftercare. It's designed to be an aftercare to the actual coating, but however, you can use it by itself if you don't have the coating.
What's it called again?
System X Renew, and that's on my website as well.
Okay.
So out of all the coatings, the spray-on do-it-yourselfs, I would recommend that. It tends to be a little thicker and last a little longer than everything else I've tried.
Would you recommend that for the matte
Everything.
black
Yeah,
paint
same thing,
too?
and it can go on every surface of your bike too. Same
Chrome,
thing. Spray it on everywhere. It's a chrome, plastic windshield. It's a wipe on, wipe off method, 2-system method. You'll spray it on one rag, and then on the bike itself, you'll roll it around in circles. That's it. That fast. It's literally a microsecond. Start buffing it dry.
So
It's
same
already doing
product,
its
Jerry,
thing
works.
As soon as it's on there.
And only on a towel that you recommend.
That towel.
Is it
right
polymer?
there. Basically, so it's silicone dioxide.
Okay.
So that's the difference between the hard coatings and the real coatings. The hard coatings, the permanent ones, are titanium dioxide. The other ones are silicone dioxide, basically a hydrophobic, where the nanomolecules are making it slick and shiny. That's the difference. So you're comparing a silicone to titanium. Therefore, now you know the difference between temporary slickness and permanent protection, because titanium and silicone, it's the same exact thing. It's just deoxified and liquefied. So, yeah, silicone dioxide will last. It will give a temporary shine, and that's mostly what you see in the stores, the spray-on ceramics. So
I got my wheels on my truck ceramic coated.
Yeah.
It's automotive black
Mhm.
on it. And maintenance is really good, but still, I guess just the brake dust and a little bit of heat, you
Yeah.
see a bunch of little specks. You can feel them.
Yeah.
Will this happen to our wheels?
I don't, without looking at your wheel and knowing what kind of coating they did, I really couldn't tell you. I don't put the ceramic coating on the wheels at all. And the reason I don't do that is because, one, that's the one part of the warranty that companies won't do is wheels. They won't warranty wheels. There's no point. Your wheels see the most action of anything. Every time when that thing's spinning 60 miles an hour down the highway, all that dust, dirt, and rocks are hitting your wheels at 60 miles an hour, right? So there's nothing you can do. Like, they take the most damage. So I don't even ceramic coat the wheels. I'll clean them up, and you can use the Renew on them, and it will help keep them clean longer. Use that Renew. It will help keep them clean longer, but there's no point in putting a permanent protection on there because it would wear out in 48 hours driving that bike down the road. You know what I mean? A 7-year coating on your wheel would wear out very fast. So there's no point putting on your wheel, but use the Renew to help keep your wheels clean all the time. So.
What do you recommend after driving in the rain?
No, but I want one.
Yeah.
Just blow it with air.
When you get home and you just got done riding in the rain and it's covered in freaking water, you can let it sit there, and you probably won't have any ceramic spot or any water spots at all in your coating.
I'll roll right. Like, if I leave here and it's raining, I just roll right in my driveway.
You don't need to.
garage.
Now, if you do want to, then yeah, get it home and just blow it dry. That's it. Call it a day. Simple. Yeah.
I'm neglectful.
What screen do you put ceramic coating in your coating bike?
Yeah.
Like your screen, us that have big screens, does that get coating on it, or do you avoid?
So I don't ceramic coat the screens. There's no point. There's no point. They're all these screens on Harleys. They're all tempered plastic. So it's really like they'll get scratched up over time, and I can ceramic coat it. There's no point to it. It doesn't see a lot of traction. A lot of only your fingers are touching it really. You know what I mean? So when I ceramic coat the bike, my main purpose is to make sure it can look as good and as new and as shiny as possible at all times. No one's going to go up to your bike and go, well, the bike looks great, but your screen's all messed up. You know what I mean? So I really concentrate on the areas that see the traction, the damage, the traffic. That's everything you want to get ceramic coating on. So
That you name two things that don't get coated. So is there more stuff on our bike so we know
that doesn't get coating? Yeah, so the things on, like for instance, on this bike that doesn't get coating, the wheels, the brake calipers, the discs, obviously, the air cleaner, like the actual filter itself, when it get coating, because the air cleaner comes off, you know what I mean? And that's really about it. Everything else gets coating. I mean, even your handles up here, I spray the coating on them, you know what I mean? And I just wipe them down. The speakers, these grates get coating on them. I wipe it everywhere else. I mean, everywhere I can get my hand into, or I can get the sprayer in, I'll wipe it on. You know what I mean? So the bags, everything gets ceramic coated, especially the bags for sure. Yeah. So, you were talking earlier about clear bras on the trikes, and I'm sure you guys have heard of PPF, right? PPF bras you put underneath your seat or on the top of your bags. Just keep in mind with PPF, it does work, and yes, it does provide rock chip protection. That's what PPF is designed to do. A lot of guys like to put, clear bras on their front fenders, and it will help with rock chips because it's thick, right? The downfall with that is, one, if you buy a cheap 3M, right? If it comes from China, the brand 3M or Avery and all these different bras that people sell for these Harleys, over time, they will turn yellow. over time. They will harden up and they will turn yellow, and it's just like a sticker, right? It's just like a sticker. It will dry up and so keep that in mind. So if you do go PPF, spend a little extra money, and you'll go to a wrap shop or a vinyl shop that does wrapped in vinyl, spend a little extra money and get the actual PPF that doesn't have adhesives on it. So they have to install it. So what they do is they install it with like soap and water, and they cut it to fit. That is the PPF you want to do. So a brand like Expel is a great PPF. Ceramic Pro has their own called Cavica. That's a great PPF.